Yikes.
Yeah, I would shit if a shark came up to me. So one Sunday morning, this old cowboy entered a church just before services were to begin. And although the old man and his clothes were spotlessly clean, he wore jeans, a denim shirt, boots that were really worn and ragged. In his hand, he had an old worn out hat and an equally worn out Bible. The church that he went into was really upscale and exclusive and was in a really nice part of the city. It was the biggest, most gorgeous church that cowboy had ever seen. The people were all dressed in real expensive clothes and accessories. He took a seat and the others moved away. Nobody greeted or spoke to him or welcomed him or anything, and they were all appalled at how he looked. They didn't even attempt to hide their feelings. As the old cowboy was leaving the church, the preacher walked up and said, "Will you do me a favor before you come back in here? I want you to have a talk with God and ask him what he thinks would be appropriate attire for worship." The old cowboy said, "I sure will." And the next Sunday, he came back for the services having the same ragged shirt, boots, and hat. And once again, he was shunned and ignored by everyone. And the preacher came up to him again, and he said, "I thought I had asked you to speak to God before you came to our church." "Well, I did," said the cowboy. "Well, if you spoke to God, what did he tell you would be the proper attire to be worshiping in here?" "Well, sir, God told me he didn't have a clue what I should wear. He said he'd never been in here before."
Wag the dog. It's a wag the dog.
So after I got a new job as a Walmart greeter, it's a good find for, retirees. I lasted less than one day. Yeah.
Oh.
About 2 hours into my first day, a real loud, mean-looking woman walked in. She had 2 kids, and she was yelling obscenities at the kids all the way in the entrance. And I said, "Good morning and welcome to Walmart. Those are nice children you have there. Are they twins?" Of course, her kids were at least 2 years apart, and while they looked a lot alike, they certainly didn't look like twins. And the woman stopped yelling and goes, "Hell no, they ain't twins. The oldest one's 9 and the other one's 7. What the hell would you think they're twins for? Are you blind or are you stupid?" I said, "Well, I'm neither blind nor stupid, ma'am. I just can't believe somebody fucked you twice. Have a nice day and shopping at Walmart."
Oh my God.
My supervisor said I probably wasn't cut out for this line of work. So this man playing on the front 9 of a complicated golf course got confused where he was on the course, and he looked around and he saw this lady right ahead of him. He walked up and he said, "Look, I don't know where I'm at." And he says, "Do you know what hole you're on?" And she said, "Well, I'm on the 7th hole. You're behind me, so you got to be on the 6th. And he thanked her and he went back to golf. And on the back 9, the same thing happened, and he came up again. And she said, "Well, I'm on the 14th, so you're on 1 behind me. You got to be on the 13th. And he thanked her and he went back to play. Well, when he finished his round and went to the clubhouse where he saw the same lady sitting at the end of the bar, he asked the bartender, "Do you know that lady?" And the bartender said she was a sales lady and she played the course very frequently. Well, he approached her and he said, "Let me buy you a drink in appreciation for all your help. I understand you're in the sales profession. I'm in sales too. What do you sell?" And she goes, "Huh, if I tell you, you're going to laugh." He says, "No, I won't." "Well, if you must know, I work for Tampax." And he laughed so hard he almost lost his breath. She said, "See, I knew you were going to laugh." He goes, "That's not what I'm laughing at. I'm a salesman for Preparation H, so I'm still a hole behind you." Mick was from Dublin, and he appeared on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And towards the end of the program, he'd already won 500,000 euros. "You've done very well so far," says Chris Tarrant, the show's presenter. "But for €1,000,000, you've only got one lifeline left. Phone a friend. Everything's riding on this one question. Will you go for it?" "Sure," says Mick, "I'll have a go." Okay. Which of the following birds does not build its own nest? A sparrow, A, a thrush, B, a magpie, C, or a cuckoo, D? "I haven't got a clue," says Mick, "so I'll use my last lifeline and phone my friend Patty back home in Dublin." Mick called up his male mate and he told him the circumstances, repeated the question to... "Fucking hell, Mick," cried Patty. "That's a simple. It's a cuckoo." "Are you sure?" "I'm fucking sure." Mick hung up the phone and told Chris, I'll go with a cuckoo is my answer. Is that your final answer? Asked Chris. That it is. There's a long, long pause. The presenter screamed, cuckoo is the correct answer. Mick, you've won €1,000,000. Well, the next night, Mick went around to Patty's to buy him a drink for helping him. Tell me, Patty, how in heaven's name do you know it was the cuckoo that doesn't build its own nest? Well, he says, 'cause he lives in a fucking clock. A woman's in bed with her lover, and she heard her husband opening the front door. Hurry, stand in the corner, she says. She quickly rubbed baby oil all over the guy, then she dusted him with talcum powder. Now don't move till I tell you to. Just pretend you're a statue. What is this, honey? The husband says when he comes in the room. Oh, it's just a statue. The Smiths bought one for their room. I liked it so much I got us one too. No more was said about the statue, not even later that night when they went to sleep. But around 2 a.m, the husband got out of bed, went to the kitchen, and came back a while later with a sandwich and a glass of milk. Here, he says to the statue, eat something. I stood like an idiot at the Smiths for 3 days, and nobody offered me so much as a glass of water. This guy goes to the PO to apply for a job, the post office. The interviewer says, are you allergic to anything? He says, yes, caffeine. I can't drink coffee. Okay. Have you ever been in the military? Well, yes, I was in Afghanistan for one tour. The interviewer's like, that'll give you 5 extra points toward employment. Then he says, are you disabled in any way? The guy says, oh, yes, a bomb exploded near me. I lost both my testicles. The interviewer grimaced. He's like, oh, okay. You got enough points for me to hire you now. Our normal hours are from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. You can start tomorrow at 10 a.m. and plan on staying till 10 a.m. every day. Here, starting at 10 every day, I mean. The guy's like, if the work hours are from 8 to 4, why don't you want me here till 10? Oh, the interviewer says, this is a government job. For the first 2 hours, we just stand around drinking coffee and scratching our balls, so no point in your coming. The madam opened the brothel door, and she saw a rather dignified, well-dressed, good-looking man in his late 40s, early 50s. May I help you? She asked. I want to see Valerie, the man says. Sir, Valerie's one of our most expensive ladies. Perhaps you prefer someone else, said the madam. Oh, no. I must see Valerie, the man says. And just then Valerie appeared and announced to the man that she charged $1,000 a visit. Well, without hesitation, he pulled out 10 $100 bills, gave them to Valerie, and they went upstairs. And after an hour, he calmly left. Next night, same man appeared again, demanding to see Valerie, and Valerie said none had ever come back 2 nights in a row, too expensive, and there were no discounts. Price was still $1,000. Again, he pulls out all the money, gives it to Valerie. They go upstairs. An hour later, he leaves. The following night, the man's there again. Everybody's astounded. He came for the 3rd consecutive night, but he paid Valerie. They went upstairs. After their session, Valerie says, no one's ever been with me 3 nights in a row. Where are you from? The man says, South Carolina. Really? I have family in South Carolina. I know, the man said. Your father died. I'm your sister's attorney. She asked me to give you your $3,000 inheritance. Moral of the story, 3 things in life are certain. 1 is death, 2 is taxes, and 3 is being screwed by a lawyer.
Amen.
An Alberta farmer in his pickup drove to a neighbor's, and he knocked at the door, and a little boy about 9 opened the door. Is your dad home? Nope, sir, he isn't. He went into town. Well, is your mother here? Nope, sir, she went to town with Dad. Well, how about your brother Howard? Is he here? Nope, he went with Mom and Dad. The rancher stood there a few minutes, shifting one foot to the other and mumbling. Well, is there anything I can do for you? I know where all the tools are if you need to borrow one, or I could give Dad a message for you. Well, says the rancher, I really wanted to talk to your dad. It's about your brother Howard getting my daughter Susie pregnant. And the boy thought for a minute. Well, you got to talk to Dad about that. I know he charges $5 and $50 for the hog, and I don't know how much he charges for Howard. And my last one. Mary was married to a male chauvinist. They both worked full time, but he never did shit around the house, and certainly nothing like housework. That, he declared, would be women's work. But one night, Mary got home from work to find all the kids bathed, a load of wash in the washing machine, another one in the dryer. Dinner was on the stove, and the table was set with flowers even. She was astonished, and she immediately was like, what's going on? Turned out that Charlie, her husband, had read a magazine article that suggested working wives would be more romantically inclined if they weren't so tired from having to do all the housework, in addition to holding down a full-time job. So the next day, she could tell her girlfriends at the office, How'd it work out, they asked her. Charlie even cleaned up. He helped the kids with their homework. He folded the laundry. He put everything away. I really enjoyed my evening. But what about after that, the friends wanted to know. Oh, that didn't work out. He was too tired. That's mine for the night, boys.